Hey guys, welcome to the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always is Eric, Nathaniel, and Robert. How's it going, fellas?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi,
It's
hi.
going.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Going silly as
Oh, hi.
always.
Yeah, as always. So, but no, nothing new and exciting here. Nothing to talk about to this week.
How's the weather?
Wet
Weather like
and warm. That's about it. Wet, moist,
Yeah,
and lukewarm.
Unusually warm.
The
here,
worst
like
time when
40s.
you wanted. Oh, it got in the 60s today. That's way
It was
unusual.
pretty nice today.
yeah, it was actually sunny here today, so that's nice. It was rainy last week. for the
Yeah,
most part.
It rained most of the week last week here too. So, still waiting on that snow though. Yeah, it is January.
It can hold off a little bit longer.
You
So,
all
like,
got all the snow.
2020.
apparently.
We don't need any more snow.
Yeah, really. You all had a year's worth of. You all had 2 years worth of snow in one snow. Maybe 3 years
One more.
worth of snow.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Just
more
wait
snow.
until February.
We were
is all
down
I'm
there for
saying.
13 years, and it never snowed half that much in the 13 years that we lived in North Carolina. So
It was pretty impressive for
there you
North
go.
Carolina.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I was impressed with how quickly it melted too. That was-
Yeah, the
Yeah,
next
that's
day.
one
yeah, that
It
was,
was like raining immediately after doesn't
Yeah.
make the snow stick around.
yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Did they
Usually-
close the school and declare a state of emergency? Because that's what happens on,
No, no state of
Seattle
emergency.
Area.
No,
Seattle area snows the other side of the state, not from me. Snows like an inch. It's, oh no, state of emergency, close the highway.
see, that's crazy. I thought they would deal with that. That was a
They
normal
don't.
thing out there. It's like,
Yeah.
that's weird. Oh well, so there's our weather report for the past 3 weeks. Nothing new and exciting anyway. But what we thought we'd do this time for this episode, since we didn't do one before the end of the year, we thought we would do our favorite games of 2018 that we played. Now that we don't really have any news, there's not a whole lot to talk about anyway. People are still on. Most places are still on holiday break. I'm just now starting to get PR emails to cycle back through, so that's been
Yeah.
it's been kinda
Not even all the
quiet
kids
for
are back
2
in
weeks.
college yet.
Nah, kids are back at school, but definitely not back in college. Your college kids don't go back till late anyway, because they're adults. I don't know.
if you're like on a
I guess.
semester or a quarter
Uh,
system,
yeah, that's-
whatever.
Whatever. But anyway, no, we thought we would, like we usually do at either the end of the year or the first of the year, we'd talk about our favorite games that we played in 2018. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they are only games that came out in 2018. They could be any game that you played in 2018. So, because I know if anybody's like me, I always have a huge backlog. So there's some games I don't even start for.
2019 is the year of the backlog, so I'm
Oh.
looking forward to it.
Every year. Hear the
It's,
backlog.
it's every year.
If nothing else comes out this year, then it will be the year of the backlog. But
Finally, be able to slog through that mess.
I'm already looking at this month, and there's already 2 games coming out next week. It's like,
Mhm.
oh well.
I'm good until March.
One of them I've already played pretty much, so I'm just getting it to play again. So I won't play it all the time anyway. So it won't be a serious playthrough. But I don't even remember what the other one is now. I've got to look and see what it is. I've forgot. See, that's what's bad.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything for this month that I was going to plan.
I'm lucky I don't have anything coming out in the first part of the year that I absolutely
That's always the
must
mistake,
have,
is I forget.
Unless there's a couple games that I have like my eye on that if reviews are good. but
Yeah,
nothing
there's-
I'm looking forward to
out
Kingdom
like
Hearts
movie.
3, but I still need to finish 2.
There's nothing other than what's coming out this month. I don't think there's anything that's been confirmed for 2019 that I want anyway. I haven't looked through the list, but
Anthem is the only one I'm like, maybe if it's good, but I have no hope for it. But if
Yeah.
reviews are awesome, then I'll pay attention.
My most
I like
anticipated.
BioWare and sci-fi.
if I get in the
Mm-mm.
beta for it, then I'll play it and then I may buy it. But as of right now, I'm not interested. Probably even if the reviews are good, I won't be interested.
I don't know. Yeah, games with services aren't really hitting me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Destiny just kind of for me. So it's like, something. I want
That's
Anthem
okay,
to be
you've got
good.
The Division 2
Yeah.
and Anthem all coming very early this year.
See, and I like the Division, but it's like I don't know. I don't know if I'll buy the Division 2 or not.
Ooh. Resident Evil 2 is coming. That's right. Is that the end of this month?
I'm stoked for Devil May Cry 5, as the regular listeners should know.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'd have to look through my Amazon pre-orders because they're before the end of the year or before they stop doing the Prime discount. I just went through and went, okay, I know I'm going to want this one sometime, this one sometime, this one. I just pre-ordered a bunch of games just to get that discount on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is anybody getting Travis Strikes Again for Switch? Nobody? No more Heroes?
Thought about it, but I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't seen enough about it yet to know if I'd like it. I mean, I like the other, the No More Heroes, but I don't know. I don't know if there's enough. I haven't seen enough of the new one to know if I really want to spend the, what is it, $50? It's actually kind of cheaper than a normal release. $40? I can't remember.
Yeah. Ooh, man. And in February, there's a couple things. March. There's nothing in March yet, so I'm okay.
Knock on wood. Somebody will see March open and shove something in there, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they're like,
Well,
hey,
there's plenty
it's
there
AAA
already.
game.
It's just whether you're interested. Or
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, but anyway, we'll get into what we played this year and what we liked real well.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to start each of us do like one at a time?
Well,
or
no.
each
What
of
I
us our
figured
whole
was,
list?
I figured would just I'll just pick somebody at random to go through their list. Because looking through, yep, I played that one. I played that one. I played that one. That one's on my list. That one's on my list.
That one.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we could just kind of, I'll let Nathaniel start, and then we can all just kind of chime in, and then we can wrap up if there's any that's not on
That we didn't mention
that we didn't
in the
mention
one
already. That way, we're not tripping over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Something
difficult when
like that.
only half of us ranked it and the other half did not rank the list, so you can't just like go bottom up.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't rank mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got two games that are 1 and 2 very close together, but there were so many good games out this year. I didn't really sit down and
All right.
analyze it to the point that I was like,
I
like
mean, I
this
didn't
one better than
analyze
this
it a
one.
ton, but
Yeah.
I like ranking it, so I did.
Eh. Well, and that's why I was like, you know what? You go ahead and you can start. You got yours ranked all nice and neat, and I don't know if Robert has his, if he's just numbered or his are ranked that way.
Mine are ranked,
Okay, all right.
or
So
to where I've kind of decided them to be.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Go ahead, Nathaniel. Start it out with however you want to do it. If you want to go top to bottom since you numbered them, or bottom to top, whatever you want to do.
Number 7.5 now.
Start in the middle and
Honorable mention just before I have my actual list was Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit / Life is Strange 2 Episode 1. Because both of those are really good, but there's going to be more Life is Strange coming this year.
Yeah.
So
I have not played that yet. I have it downloaded to my Xbox, but I haven't played it yet. And I think all the Life is Strange games ended up on Game Pass last week on Xbox, I believe. I think even episode 1, Strange 2 episode 1 was on there, if I remember right. I have to look up and make sure, but I think that's what it was.
Captain Spirit was like, what, in the summer it was free. It's a little standalone thing that kind of sort of ties into Life is Strange 2, but unless they're going to tie into it more as it goes on, it's just a tangential thing that you can play kind of. And it was really good though. And then the first episode of it is very interesting. Definitely is Life is Strange game, and I'm curious to see where it goes from here because it's different than the first one in that it's going to be more of a road trip. So you're not going back to the same locations as much like you did in the first Life is Strange season, series, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So it will be interesting. Or like both of them technically, because the one that the other studio did was also set in Arcadia Bay. So this is all kind of a different beast, but it still has that same kind of tone and feel to it. So it started off well. Hopefully it continues to be well.
Yep.
As it come out this year.
I hope so. I enjoyed the first series. So
yeah, if you enjoy the first one, definitely worth playing.
yeah, absolutely.
I'll go with the bottom of my list. Number 10 on my list is Shadow of the Colossus remake on PS4.
Ooh, yeah.
I had this one on there as well.
Did you?
Yeah, because it's not just like, hey, we remastered it. No, like they redid all of like the graphics. They tweaked some of the control scheme stuff a little bit, so it's less annoying as it is if you go back to play the original. And it just plays really well. It's also very, very short if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's always a plus.
Especially
too,
if you played it before, you know what you're doing, and boom, boom, you're done.
There was just a lot of love and care put into this remake, and it shows. And I honestly think it's better than it ever has been, and it might even be received better than it ever has been.
Because now people are like, oh, now I can play it on a modern system, and I've never played this game before.
I think that in this case they did a good enough job on it that if someone's never played it but they've heard all like the hype around it, heard people talk about it, and they're like, okay, people love this game, I want to check it out, that'll actually hold up. Whereas if they tried to play the PS2 version or even like the PS3 version, it just would not quite work, especially the control scheme stuff, because that'll get in the way of anybody who's not played anything from the PS2 era, because it's a very unique, odd control scheme. And it still kind of is for the PS4 version, but it's got some rough edges sanded off a little bit, so it's more palatable.
If you're a purist, you can even switch back to the OG control scheme, so that's there.
And I have that. I don't know where. I've got a digital copy of it. I don't know where I got it from. I did not buy it.
You probably got it from. Were you still on the retail loyalty site?
Maybe. I don't.
That's where I got mine.
That may be where I got mine at. I don't know. You know, they were giving away a lot there at one time, and there was a couple games I won from them. It and like Gravity Rush, maybe, and something else that are on my PlayStation 4 that I went, I don't even remember having these games. I don't know where they came from. They're downloaded on there, but it's like, I really ought to go play those at some point, I guess.
First world problems.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so
mystery games.
It's too many.
Number 9 on my list, I don't think any of you guys played, was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I've got Shadows at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, I wanted to play it, but I just ran out of time.
I wanted
to play it. It's my least favorite of the reboot Tomb Raiders, but it's still really good. Despite I've had some annoyances with certain things, which if you go back and listen to the episodes I was talking about it, it's probably sounds like I'm more down on it than I actually was, because it's still really good, but it just does some things different than the other ones that I don't think work as well. Like they tried to make it a little too open for a Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people
in the wrong kind of ways. Because like there's a couple like bigger kind of like hub city-ish areas. Like the first two ones, the reboot and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, do this cool thing where you have like these loops where you go through and you come back to another area and then you go back through, and then but then they also change things where there's new enemies and times of day and all that stuff. This one doesn't do that quite as well, but it's still a very good game. It's very, very pretty. But it feels like a different studio made it and was trying to like follow the same formula, but just didn't quite know exactly how they pulled it off. We haven't seen the last of it,
right? I mean, there's this trilogy, but I'm sure that she'll pop up again.
This is closing the loop of that story arc, but they haven't said if there's more.
Once the end of Shadow kind of like, okay, now she is the Tomb Raider that you know of from the series, and little winks and nods to like, okay.
Did you think it was shorter than the last two games?
No. It was about the same, I think.
I heard a lot of people didn't like the turn that she, or I don't want to say the turn that she took, but I've been watching. I watched a couple of videos of some of the guys of 2018, and they were like, they didn't like where the story went about halfway through was their main complaint with it.
My problem wasn't where the story went. It was that it went there poorly, because it was a lot more disjointed feeling than the other games were. It just didn't quite mesh. Like, hey, the story event happens, and you're like, but wait, you didn't really properly set that up as much as you could have. So like all the individual pieces are really good. It just didn't quite hang together quite as well as the other ones do, and I think that's why I didn't enjoy it quite as much. But it's still really fun. The mechanics are just as good as they've always been. The tombs are really, really good in this one, so it's definitely worth playing if you like the Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, I never picked it up. I have it on. I think I bought it on Xbox. I don't know. I don't remember. I bought the second one on Xbox. But
it was on sale pretty cheap a couple times, and the price will come down to be about $20-25, and that's
usually when I pick it up.
I'll buy it for that much, and then it'll sit on the shelf. I'm like, oh yeah, that game.
Well, and what usually happens now that I've got Game Pass, it's usually like, well, this one, the 1 and 2 came on Game Pass, so 3 will probably be on Game Pass in 6 months to a year. So I'll just wait till then.
Yeah. That's I guess when you could pick it up and mainline the story parts. Don't try to find every single extra little thing.
Maybe you would get 15 hours out of it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's perfect. I like those.
It's pretty much like the other ones that way. If you want to find every single little thing, you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8 on my list is another one you guys did not play. Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire.
No, but I want to play it.
It's definitely an old school, like, CRPG, so you have party, you're clicking, it's all isometric. So it's kind of like Divinity Original Sin, except instead of like Divinity is updating that formula and making it a lot more modern, this one is a lot more of a throwback of like, look, here's exactly kind of how it was when you were playing Baldur's Gate. This one back in the day. Except, you have a lot of like ship stuff in this one, which I found interesting. Just because the second Divinity Original Sin 2 has some stuff with boats in it, not quite to the same degree as this one does. Yeah. But it's not like you're actually sailing a boat. It's all kind of like you're doing choose your own adventure type stuff. It's like the boat is however many meters away. Do you do this or that? And you can actually turn your ship and choose what to fire. And it's all this weird, crazy system. But then you have all the on foot stuff too when you're on, because there's different islands and stuff that you can go to.
That one's still scheduled to come out on Switch this year, so I think I've got it pre-ordered on it. I think that's why I haven't played it yet. So
on your radar.
Pre-ordered on that one. So I'm interested to see how it goes.
I would like that because I like Baldur's Gate stuff.
Because despite it being sort of simple looking on the surface, it didn't run super crazy fast on PC. So I wonder how the Switch will handle it. Then
I don't know.
Probably why they're putting the time in to really do the port well.
It was supposed to come out in the fall on the Switch, and it didn't. So they backed it off till there's no definitive release date. But I think Amazon had it on pre-order for like $45 or something like that. So I just went boop, pop, pop, and said, well, if it ever comes out, fine. If not,
well, it's nice that you didn't mark it up because I'm pretty sure it was around that, like brand new on PC too. I have to go back and check. But
boop, pop, bip.
Yeah, so.
It was somewhere in that area, I believe. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, cool.
Number 7 on my list has been played by other people. Smash Brothers Ultimate. I played a lot more of it over Christmas break on airplanes and stuff, so I put a lot more time into the spirits mode and just regular matches and all of that.
It feels weird to say, but this one has kind of taken me by surprise. I've played all the Smash Bros, but they've never really stuck with me. But this one I'm enjoying just way more than the other ones. And honestly, I think it comes down to there's a character that I finally feel that's good with my playstyle.
Kirby,
so I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's not Kirby. It's actually Richter or Simon Belmont, the Castlevania characters. I really enjoyed playing.
I haven't even tried them yet because I've been playing mostly Spirits mode, and I still haven't switched my fighter because I love Kirby ever since the 64 Kirby.
I played some Spirits mode. I've mainly spent my time unlocking all the characters. But I have had some buddies over a couple times and doing some 3-player, 4-player matches, and that's always a great time.
Yeah, chaos and fun. Yeah, the Spirits mode is really fun because they do a really good job of switching up just how fights work by putting in weird rules. So like every single little spot on the map that you go, it's like, hey, you're going into a fight, so it's not like you're doing different gameplay, but then they set up weird rules like the floor is lava, there's a poison cloud, there's fog that you can't see, there's like this character,
there's a million Yoshis that
tiny,
you're fighting.
So it's a really good job of putting a bunch of variety for if you're just wanting to play a bunch of fights in a row, you can do that mode and work your way through the map a bit, unlock a few things, and play a bunch of different matches that aren't all the same, like you would if you're doing regular Smash.
I can't forgive their online play though. It's
still
buggy? Not good. Very laggy. I don't know what kind of infrastructure they're using. It might be peer-to-peer, but I've had matches that have been 50% usable and other ones where the frame literally drops to a halt and you can't do anything for seconds on end.
Are you wireless, handheld, or docked wireless?
I was playing docked wireless.
You might want to try docked and get a wire
adapter. That might help.
That doesn't seem to help too much from what I've read about, but I don't know.
Even if that does help, in 2019, it's unacceptable.
It sucks, but me personally, I'm not bothered because I know even if it worked perfectly, I'd just be going around there getting murdered anyways.
I mean, with that being said, even if it worked perfectly, their matchmaking system is non-existent. There's no good way to party with your friends. It's just so shoddy, and it feels like a game.
Part of that is
an online game that launched
in the first place doesn't have a good online infrastructure for friends and partying.
Yeah, they never have.
Oh, I totally get
itself,
it.
So
and
that doesn't
I just can't give them a pass anymore.
No, you can't. But yeah, it's still really, really good. It's called Ultimate for a reason.
Yeah, it's a testament that it's made, all of our, well, at least a lot of our lists. I don't know if it made all of our lists, even with the buggy online stuff.
Yeah, it plays just as well in handheld mode as it does, on a TV, because I've played about equal of both.
Yeah,
really no frame drops.
I was playing a bunch of Smash Brothers on airplane, and it works really well that way.
Yep, that's good. We've talked about it before. I haven't played Smash since it was, on the 64 or GameCube. That was the last one I played, and I've never really had any desire to buy it again. It's not like when we played it was everybody came over to the house and we played it, and nobody comes over anymore. Mm-hmm. We've all went here and there and everywhere, and so that's
definitely where Smash Brothers shines.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
I'm trying not to lose that. I'm trying to keep people coming into the house from time to time.
Well, when you move away for like 13 years, everybody disappears. I mean, and you come back, it makes it kind of difficult. So.
I get it. Yeah. Most of the people I grew up with, they're in Ohio.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I would never dump on anybody for that. That's not them. I'm the one that left, not them. So,
it's your fault, John.
Yeah, it's my fault. So I broke the band up.
John's fault. Moving up my list, we have Dead Cells at number 6.
Yep, I have that one as well.
There's a game of like most perfect mechanics of the year. This one would win it because they've polished that thing. I don't think there's anything they could tweak about it to make it any better. It's very, very well done.
Yeah, it really is.
Very addictive. Like, I'll just do one more run, and then hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could even be that same run. You did just one more run, but it took a long time because you got a really good one and are doing better at it for whatever reason.
What's
kind of keeps roping you back in.
Well, what's funny is I don't even know how far I am in it because I keep going back and forth. I may have fought the last boss and not even known it just because
I fought the last boss once and didn't beat him because it's like so much harder than even the previous boss that I played on that run, and then never got back there.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite games that came out this year too. I love that one.
Yeah, it's got a really cool art style to it. It's got just a really good feel for playing it. You got different ways you can play it, which I think is what feeds into that too, because you could just go hack and slash everything. You can shield, you get the turrets down. You do all the other different abilities. It's just each time you go through, it's going to play out a little differently, just based on what randomly pops up in your run.
Yep, that's what I like about it. So I can play it any way I want.
Yeah. Number 5 on my list is Forza Horizon 4. That game is really, really good. It's not the same as Burnout Paradise, but it gives me a lot of the similar vibes of just I want to drive around this map finding little nooks and crannies of things to do. Hey, here's this spot where they put a ramp on a hill. Here's this little cool little thing hidden behind these trees. Here's all this other little fun missions they threw in. So I've done a decent amount of all the regular races, but most of my time in that game has been just going everywhere on that map.
Well, and what's funny is as much as I wanted to play it, I downloaded it I downloaded it the day it came out on Game Pass, everything like that. I don't think I've even booted it up yet. Just because I haven't had time. But it looks pretty. I've even got it downloaded to the computer because I'm at some point I'm going to try it on computer, just see what it looks like on the computer too. PC. So, it's one, and that's
a good job with just tying it together with the kind of user interface and all that too. It's really slick with how it does the end of race screens and all the different stuff. It works really, really well.
Yeah, I always love the Forza and the Forza Horizon games. Yeah, when you try to say Forza there together, it really Forza. But yeah, it's one of those games that I know if I start playing it, just like Forza, if I start playing it, I just sit there for hours and hours and hours and just keep playing it.
Well, yeah, because it's like bite-sized
Yeah.
stuff. So you want to go do a few races, it gets done quickly. You do another one, then you do this, and then oh, here's this cool thing that I ended up when I finished over here, and it just keeps you running along doing one thing or another. Like I want to go find all the things to smash. I want to go break all the speed records. I want to go do all the off-road races or street races or whatever. They have a lot of different things to do, which makes it fun.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Number 4 on my list would be Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's 1 or 2 on mine. I haven't decided which.
I can't put it that high on mine for a couple reasons. One, I haven't played all of it at all. I'm somewhere in chapter 2. I've played quite a bit of it. I've done a lot of different missions and a lot of side stuff, but there's enough little things about that game that annoy me. It's not going to bump off anything I've put above it.
Yeah.
It's mostly mechanics of like, Rockstar, please just update your stuff. You don't have to keep doing it the same old way. Please, please, please. Like, hey, your camp, you can't sprint in it. Everywhere else in the game, you can sprint. So if you're sprinting outside of the range and then you walk in, we'll slow you down, but we're not going to slow you down to the fastest speed you can go in camp. No, we're going to slow you to dead walk.
Right.
So if you want to go a little bit faster, you have to hit the button again. Because I have it on like the toggle sprint.
Yeah.
And I did all the tweaking to the controls, so it's not like the stupid tap the X button to sprint jump that they do, except when it's on horses, and it's like enough little things about it that are not updated. They're just like, hey, we've done it this way, let's continue to do it this way. That bug me just enough that it doesn't bump it any higher. But man, there's so many cool things about that game that they do really, really well. And there's stupid stuff too, other than that. Like, I had one time where I was trying to, I think I was on a train and I was going to get off, and then I was trying to get my horse, and it decided to just, for no reason, even though I'm not by the train anymore, just suicide into the train.
Just drag.
Like, why, horse? Why would you do this? Why would you just jump into a train? It makes no sense.
I told you my experience when I was chasing somebody on horseback too close to the train, and I lassoed him, and when I did, instead of him falling left off the horse and away from the train, he fell right into the horse, and then it pulled me and my horse into the train. Didn't kill me, but it killed my horse, and we just rolled for,
There's so many times where I've just like clipped this tiny little stump or something that I couldn't see because I was trying to go around like a corner chasing somebody.
Like, come on, there goes the the corpse you have, or there goes the guy you're carrying, and now he's dead because his head hit the ground.
Or the one time that I'll do the cinematic run and go from, if I've got a long way to go, I'll turn the automatic run on and do the cinematic thing, and there'll be a tree down in the road.
I don't even know how to do that. So
if you,
that's awesome. Don't tell me, because I don't want to know.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because
I was enough time between when I played the first bit of the game to when I picked it back up again. I was like, I know this cinematic camera exists. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's really nice because when you're riding, it pans back and the screen goes down, and you got this. But what's bad is your horse has no. It's almost like he has no eyes. He
no
sticks
awareness
to
of his surroundings.
He sticks to the road in a very good way, it always does. But like, I was riding, and then all of a sudden, the camera turns, and there's a tree in the road, crossing the road. I'm like, oh, my horse will jump it. Nope. He just hit that thing head on, and I flew right over the top of the horse and right over top of that tree in the road, and it was like,
or jump anything else, but not that.
Yeah. So if I hear a train or something like that, I immediately take it out of cinematic mode because I know I'm getting close to the railroad track and he's not going to stop. Because apparently your horse
just doesn't like you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the horse just hates everybody is the problem. So
yeah. I've had just fun, silly things too. Of like, I will be getting yelled at for like, "Hey, come on!" But I'm going to loot all the bodies to get all the ammo I can.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to pay for this? No, then I'm going to scavenge all the ammo I can.
Absolutely. Y'all keep yelling. I'm going to walk around. And yeah, I haven't done online very much yet. I don't think I even haven't finished the online story yet to try out and see exactly what's going on with that. But
I'm not even gonna bother with it until I am done with the single player, even if then
Yeah.
we'll see how it is. Because by the time I finish with that, maybe they'll have added something to it again. Who knows?
Probably. I would say you're
Is it
probably
still in
safe.
beta?
Technically, yeah, I think so. I mean, they'll probably call it beta for 6 months. I don't know how much of
Yeah.
a beta it really
Yeah.
is, but
One
They
thing I
should
do
just call
like,
it early access or something.
yeah, I think that's really what it should be more called, is early access than beta.
one thing that surprised me about Red Dead though is that I actually like Arthur. Where from all the trailers and everything before the game came out, I did not like him at all, and thought I wouldn't like him. And then you get in the game, oh, he's not as wooden and boring as he seemed.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
trailers.
once you really got to get into it at first, and then
He actually has a somewhat similar personality to what John did in the first game. I think
Yeah.
not exactly the same,
Yeah,
but
there's-
just similar.
There's
outlaw
more to him than
cowboy.
just like the rough exterior.
yeah,
Yeah,
But hey, am I the only one that's finished? The game?
probably I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
though.
yeah. I'm in just
Spoilers
chapter
to
2,
me.
so I'm
I
still
think
in
I'm
the first
only in-
campsite.
I think I'm in 3, maybe chapter 3.
For sure,
something
if I
like that.
start talking about the end, people are gonna like, ah.
Yeah, I
don't do
wouldn't.
that.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't.
you know, there's this one part.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk about
How
that.
how annoying is the like the beard and the hair mechanics that you have to cut them and shave and
I
trim?
You don't
agree.
and-
really have
I
to.
like it. I think it's
You're all
hilarious.
scraggly, and you know.
How
you
long
gotta
how long
keep
does it take
complimenting.
to grow out a full beard and whatnot?
Not like
Not very, very long.
So if I didn't want a beard, I'd have to shave a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd
It's
have
not as
to-
much as you think. 'cause
No,
I've kept
maybe.
it trimmed a lot, but I let it grow some and then trim it off. It's not too crazy.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you got to clean your weapons. It's not that bad either. You just clean them a little bit and go on with it. I mean, it's not
Here's
that.
a tip: if you don't remember that, you can get your hat back from your horse. Because
Yep.
I don't like how he looks like without his hat, and I didn't know that for a while until. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my horse has my hat. I can stop punching people out and stealing their hat. Okay, that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not realize that either. So until way later, it's like I had one hat and I was like, "Well, that's a pretty cool hat. I like that hat. I'll just take that guy's hat since I lost mine."
I like that
Bam!
guy's
And it's like, pop him in the head. His hat goes flying. Pick his hat up off and take
The
it.
newspapers are suddenly saying stuff about serial hat thief.
Yep, that would be me. I would be the serial hat thief for a little while. So that was the way I was. Till I was like, oh wait, it's in my bag. Never mind. Sorry, here's your hat back. I'll stop doing that. Thanks.
I had a thing early in the game where it was like take someone's horse, and then you can return the horse, says the tutorial, but I could never find the guy, so I still have a stupid horse icon somewhere of temporary horse.
Yeah.
I'm like, just make it go away automatically. Like that horse could have wandered its way home by now. Come on, Red Dead.
I thought there was a way
Don't
you
want
could
it.
let it go, but I don't remember.
Maybe there is. I have no idea. I'd have to go track it down to do that.
Yeah, I can't remember. The horse that I really, really liked got run over by the train, so, you know.
I am glad that I figured out that the stables will automatically bring your horse back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
handy.
there was like one mission where I was driving like a stagecoach or something, and had tried to whistle my horse to follow me, but apparently failed. So I was like,
Ran
nope,
into the
your horse is
stagecoach.
out of range. But
Yeah.
hey, luckily the mission ended by a stables, so I just ran in and got it.
Hey, you're back. It's magic.
Hey, we'll go get that for you instantaneously. Good job,
Yeah.
stable hands.
If you ever watch
Here's
me
a tip.
play it, though, you'll see me on a stagecoach, and then every 5 seconds I'm going. You know, you just see
Yep.
like, why does he keep whistling? It's because I want my horse to run right behind me the whole time.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I can get it when I have to get off.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, now it's at the stable, so okay.
Would they let you hitch your horse to a carriage and then go?
I don't know. You could hitch it like out in a field and leave it. I've accidentally done
Yeah.
that before, but I don't know if you could hitch it to the the carriage.
That way you
or
wouldn't have to
not.
whistle it; it would just run with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Horse to a carriage and then.
Might be worth a try anyway.
Worth experimenting because there's a bunch of other little things they let you do. Why not?
Yeah, why not? It could happen.
Number 3 on my list, if we're ready to move on,
Yep.
was Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah,
Mm,
that
that's
would
a good
probably
one.
be about where it would fall for me is 3. That's
It made it to my
Really
4.
wish I'd played it. I'll get
As
to
the best Spider-Man game ever made.
Mhm.
They
That's
just
the-
Safe to
nail-
say for sure.
Both with the everyone talked about the swinging when the game came out. Swinging through the streets feels great, which it does, but also the combat.
Yeah.
Mostly, like at first, when you're still trying to play it like Batman, you think, oh, this isn't that special. But when you start playing it like Spider-Man, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be in the air a lot of the times or use all my gadgets while I'm doing it. It plays
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
You definitely feel like Spider-Man flipping around and tossing guys into other guys.
web grenade for
It's
the
a lot of fun. Web grenade is very good.
Yeah, I like that one. And I like the electrified web that you can
Yeah, that's a good one.
take.
As far as like the special moves, I love the blossom still, like the very first one you get, and I'm like, yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
Just in a pinch. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Bloop.
Yep.
I like the mechanical spider arms.
I haven't used that one too much.
'Cause it
Yeah,
made me
I've-
feel like it's
I've
from the
used
movie
them
because the
a couple
suit's from
times.
the movie, so
Yeah.
it looks like that, and it was fun to play with.
Yeah, I haven't finished that one. I think I'm 40 or
I'm at like 78% for the
50.
story.
and then I've got all the DLC on top of it. So, you know.
I haven't played any of the DLC. It's supposed to be good though,
Yeah, that's what I hear.
from what I hear. But yeah, like that game is just a lot of fun to play. It's another one that's like, if Dead Cells wasn't out, it might be perfect mechanics or really, really, really good mechanics because it just
Yeah.
the way it feels to control it is really, really good.
Cool.
And the story is really good too. They
Yeah.
did a good job with telling a really good Spider-Man story.
I think it's the voice acting for me that
Yeah.
really, kicks up the story a notch.
Oh, and you even get Stan Lee in there. So, at one point. So, like every Marvel thing, which is cool. But they.
Yeah,
go
great
with
Easter egg.
Yep.
I mean, if they could continue doing so in the video games if they get a good sound like voice actor.
Yeah, that's true. You're
Can't
absolutely
do
right.
that in live action movies anymore. But
No, I forget how many they've already shot in the
Yeah, he
in the
filmed a
movies. He
few.
filmed, I think 5 or 6. It'll be
Yeah.
weird the first one, and next movie that comes out to see him. You're
well,
like,
the
oh,
one in
yeah.
Spider,
Everyone's gonna be like, oh.
the one in the Spider-Verse movie was actually really good, and like they did it before he passed, but it sort of seems like they did it afterwards. Just
Yeah.
the way that it runs is like, okay, that was nice.
The one he had in
Some
Teen
cool
Titans Go, the
surprises.
movie, was really good too.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are at least like, make you giggle a little bit. It's like, oh, there's that Stan Lee again, haha.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dexter. Of course, he would say that the obvious best bet is Spider Punk's rock out power. Of course, he would.
Spider-Punk was pretty cool. The suit's good too.
Yeah,
Like, oh, that's another good thing about the Spider-Man is they did a really good job with most of the suits are really nice,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
and they also have there's a lot of them that have decent powers too, and you
Yeah.
can swap them so that you don't have them tied to suits. Was a nice touch that you didn't have to keep switching suits. You're like, I like this power, but I
Every
like that
game
suit.
needs to
Yeah.
allow that.
yeah, yeah. That's what I liked with your next game on the list. Is I could keep the same. I could have the weapon, but I wanted it to look this way, so I put this suit of armor on, and I could change it to look like an old suit of armor. Yet it was the
You played it after patches. So yeah,
Yeah, I'll
kind of
just-
two are kind of tied. So we'll start with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is really good. When it first came out, you couldn't do that.
Oh,
You could
really?
keep up-
Okay. See, I didn't know.
So you have the mechanic where you have a set of armor that you like, and you can upgrade it to your current level. Has
Yeah.
been in since the start, but at some point, I don't remember how long it took them to do that. It was at least a month, I think, that they added the thing where you can change the appearance of armor.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I have this really good armor, but I don't like how it looks, but I want to make it look like this other previous armor that I had.
Yeah.
So you can change it as long as you've looted it, I think. Is
Yeah,
one
that's all you have to do is
the
loot
choices.
it. Is
So,
just loot it, and that's
if
it.
you've picked it up before, you can make anything look like it. And yeah, it's very nice. I did that a couple times later on in the game.
Yeah.
Finished it earlier last week, I think. Last weekend, maybe. And I've been doing a bunch of other stuff in there since I finished the story, too, just because I wanted to.
Well, I played it for about 2 hours on the PC on the Google streaming thing, whatever they call it. I can never remember what they call that stupid thing. But played it on that just so when it's over, I can get my free copy on the PC because I bought it on PS4 So it's like, well, I'm not going to play it anymore on the streaming thing because I'm not going to be able to carry my save over or anything like that. So I got a good feel for their streaming service and went, okay, that's a cool thing. It works real well. I like it. Let me go play it on PlayStation 4. So I started playing it on PlayStation 4 this week, and I've only played it maybe about 10 hours or so. But, you know, it's on my list. But, man, let me tell you something. I don't know what kind of high-end PC or whatever they were running that on Google, on the Google thing, but the load times were very, very short. I'm not going to say they were non-existent, but they're very, very short. If you've watched any of these streaming if you've watched any of this streaming that I have done this week playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on PS4, just a standard PS4, you will hear me every 10 minutes go, oh, the lag time or the load times are so long, and they are. It's so long, and I don't know.
Even on like a Pro or an Xbox One X, they'd still probably be longer. But on my PC that's running off an SSD and not a mechanical hard drive, they're nice. So I fast travel all the time.
Well, it's like, you know, I would just, you know, playing it on the Google thing, it was like boom, 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 and then when I got set out on PlayStation 4, I could notice it immediately. It was like I could do the bird thing, looking around, picking out my enemies, scoping out the area, going, okay, I need to probably go over here and do that, do this, and if I'd stay in it too long, I would hit the button to come back to my character, and it'd be like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi.
It's not a long thing. It's how far away did you fly from the character so that the word gets unloaded. I can do that. It doesn't matter on my PC. It'll have like a half second back.
Yeah, and that's the way it was on the stream. It was just it was almost, I don't want to say instantaneous, but it felt very instantaneous. You know, it was like boom, boom.
Well, yeah, because they have the little kind of animus sci-fi transition where it like builds the world back up, so it's not just like you're waiting for it. But it's still like a second at most. So play it on PC that has an SSD if you want the best experience for loading times.
Yeah, because and what's bad is on the PS4, I've got all my games on an external hard drive to boot. So I don't know if that also would play into the load time or not. I'm sure it does a little bit. I would be curious to play it on Xbox because I have all my games on Xbox too, but I think the Xbox, the plug that I have the Xbox in the USB port is a 3.0 USB port. So it should load a little faster through that. I don't know.
A little, but that's still going to be super bottlenecked.
Oh my gosh. It was just so long. And
you'd be really... game, man. By the time I got like halfway through, times all the time for different stuff, whether I'm fast traveling or doing whatever, and if it was if it was slower, I would have played the game differently, I think.
Yeah.
But it does so many things well, but one of the things it does really, really well is making you start out, you feel like, okay, I'm competent, and then by the time you get to the end, you're like, I'm a superpowered, like, Greek god, like, because you have so many special powers, you have, like, really, really good gear, and even though it does, like, the level scaling with you, you still feel like I could just take out all these guys, just like,
yeah.
And you could pick which way you want to take them out. Do you want to shoot them? Do you want to go sneak up and stab them? Do you just want to go in and be like, hey, come at me, and then just like slice them all down in a giant brutal melee?
But you definitely don't want
like you can do.
You definitely don't want to go into a fort through a tunnel and pop your head up and go, "Hey, what's going on?" And all of a sudden there's a guy that you didn't pick up when you were doing the hawk thing that's standing right next to that tunnel and goes, "Light the brazier! We need reinforcements!" Oh crap!
Like, go from
always
couple to
high.
Stack.
Yeah.
Scale the walls of the fort, find out where that alert ranger is, and sort of work your way to that first so you can booby trap it.
Yeah, I figured that one out real quick because I like to, in some of the other games, I always tried to go below and come up, not so much high and down. And it's like, no, in this game, you really want to kind of come high and down. You don't want to go up and over because it really...
It's gonna be, if I had to pick this or Spider-Man to like as the next big game to play, it's gonna be tough because I've heard really good things about this game. As someone who hasn't played anything since Black Flag or Rogue.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is shorter. I've done almost everything in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I'm at about 100 hours.
I hear in Spider-Man.
There's still stuff I haven't done, but not very much of it.
Did you get the season pass with all all that stuff, or you're just talking base game?
Base game.
Okay.
I do not have the season pass, and season pass only has thing that's like story stuff out at this
Gotcha.
point. And it's part 1 of 3, so it's just like, well, just wait till all 3 parts of it come out and then do it if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, even then, like, there's like some free stuff they added in, some different missions that they have loaded in since launch, and they have like a different color blue icon when you see them. There's like 3 or 4 of those that are kind of like a string of missions, about 4 or 5.
I hear there's a Spider-Ham
stories.
costume. Spider-Man, that's what I need to play as. Peter Porker.
But yeah, I would say Spider-Man is closer to like 20, maybe
Yeah.
30 hours doing like everything, whereas like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you're going to be spending at least 60 in it, if not more.
Yeah. And that's why I thought it was kind of crazy for me to even start it now. It's like, man, I should go do this. I should finish that. But now it's like.
But now it's like it was the downtime, like December-ish to like mid-January. Things are a little bit slower. But now, releases are going to pick up and back to square one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it depends on what you're into. I really haven't sat down and looked at a roadmap of 2019 yet of what's scheduled to come out. So, like I say, right now,
Games.
Like right now, I don't think there's anything major that I'm like, oh, I've got to have day one. Except I am buying the Mario Deluxe thing, even though I've got it on Wii U because I'm a sucker for 2D Mario games.
Bros.
Yeah, I love the 2D Mario games, and that one was fantastic on the Wii U. So. And I don't remember, like I said, I don't even remember what the other one is, but it comes out the exact same day. And I don't remember what it is. So now I'm going to have to go look. Anyway, carry on. While I go look, you carry on.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is really, really good because, like, with Origins, I went back and finished the story and then still had, like, probably a third or more of the map that I just never went to and didn't have any reason that I felt like I wanted to go to them. Whereas in this game, it's like, I want to go everywhere and I have to go to every part of the map, do every little like quest, and I've cleaned up on it just because it's so much fun to play.
I tell you,
especially once you get to level 20 and you don't take fall damage, so you can just leap off cliffs.
See, that's nice.
It's so much
Ooh,
fun.
that's nice.
See, what I tell you what I really thought I didn't think I would like as well in this one that I liked so much in Black Flag. I really liked the ship battles in Black Flag, and I was like, oh, okay, it's coming back in this one, meh, and that's fine. But you know what? I really like the ship battles in this one. Like the first time you get your boat and you're going to that island, and it's not a spoiler. I mean, this is your main thing of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that barricade of, that barricade up of boats.
Blockade of ships.
Yeah, that blockade of ships. And it's like, I'm just kind of sailing. I got it on Twitch. It's like, I'm just kind of sailing. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to ram that one right in the middle and just hammer it. And as soon as I got to it, I just, boom, busted that one, hung her right, and boom, hammered that other one. And then I just, it was like, it was very satisfying at the end of it. The other thing that I like is when I board them, and they have usually the big guy with the big mallet is on there. If you get him close to the edge and just Spartan kick him off the edge, he'll just drown. It's like, that's perfect. Yep. I don't have to fight him. I just go boom, and he just flies right off the edge, and we're good to go. We're all good here.
Why are you on ships if you're that allergic to water, man?
I know, right?
It's like I did some ship combat, but I didn't like engage with it as much as like to get to another island and then find the fast travel points. Then use that when I go back and forth, because it was fun, but there wasn't enough of a reason for me to really dig into it, fully upgrade it.
Well,
I got like halfway upgraded, I think, by the end of the game.
What was weird with me is like the first time I get on a boat and I've got to go to the island and get the lieutenant to upgrade your archers. I fought so many boats at one time going from there to there that it blew my mind. There was 4 of them on me at one time, and I'm going, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. It's like, what is going on? But Tales of Vesperia was the other game coming out the same day as the Mario Brothers. So once again, John is buying a long Japanese RPG that
You'll finish it eventually.
Someday. When I'm 85, I'll be like that woman that played that
like,
Animal Crossing thing.
Hooked up. Here we go.
She played.
It's never happening.
Yeah. She did you see that on Twitter that she was like 85 years old, played Animal Crossing New Leaf on her 3DS every day for she had like 2,000 hours into it.
The last 4 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That'd be me when I hit 75. That's all I'll do is sit around and play games all the time. It'll be old games. That's like
Shenmue.
Yep, absolutely. I've still got to finish those on the PlayStation 4. I haven't even finished those yet. So shameful. But yeah, okay. Where are we at? We got off track.
Tied with Assassin's Creed Odyssey for #1 on my list.
I have God of War, but I have not played it.
God of War is also my #1.
It is my #1 as well, and I do have to say, there was never one point in God of War's decently long story where I was like, when is this game going to end? I'm thinking about playing other things.
No, the whole time I was thinking, please don't end. Please don't end.
I'm like, So I'm halfway through the story in Red Dead. Is there something else I should be playing? But in God of War, I was interested from the minute I popped it in.
Yeah, I have not played it yet. I've got it downloaded and bought it. I bought it on Black Friday and I downloaded it. I just haven't played it yet.
That game is,
and even someone for me that
so enthralling.
Sucks at God of War games with the combos and stuff. I still had a great time.
Yeah. I'm anxious to play it, but
again, another game this year that's very good mechanic. Throwing that axe was never not fun from the first time you do it all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah. Calling it back, oh man, there's so much power behind it.
Yeah. And the story, there's enough in the little story to tug at your little heartstrings, just enough where you're like, okay.
I don't want to be tugged at my
sort of like
you just want to see brutal violence where he just punches a lot of things.
I mean, there's a bit of
that too.
And then they have some fun just twists on the mythology that they're playing with, since they're playing a little different pantheon this time than the Greek one. So it gives it a different flavor. We've got a really cool setup for if they do another game. Well, if they'll do another game in however many years it takes them to finish it, that they could do like 2 or 3 different things based on what they kind of sort of hint at the end of the game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go with the series from here, because I mean, God of War games have always gotten high praise, and but this one.
But yeah, this is one where
it's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's a whole nother level.
Games that much is like I tried a couple of them. I was like, okay, they're okay. I see why some people like it, but it's just not for me because it's purely just an action game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas this still has that, where you can play all of the fights are still very mechanically fun to do, and then especially as you upgrade your skills, get more skills and things throughout the game, the combat is just can be intricate if you want it, or you can also probably just do the same things and button mash your way through it.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's some parts that would give you trouble.
Yeah.
But then there's all the other stuff layered on top of that, like the really good characters that are well done, the stories that are being told about them, the way that the animation and all that stuff is so well done that just pulls you into watching and playing them. And just all the little details they put in, all the fun just side stuff that you can do, like the little things that happen just in incidental dialogue as you're walking. Kratos is trying to tell a story and be funny, and he's not, but all these little things that they throw in just add up to a masterpiece game.
It's crazy. If you were to ask 13, 14-year-old Robert if God of War would ever be among his favorite games, he would say absolutely not. They were always, good games, and they were fun games, but they weren't deep. You could literally button mash your way through the whole game.
Yeah, and I've never finished any of the others. I played 1 and 2, and I think 3 I played. 1 and 2 I think I got about halfway, and 3 maybe I played a little bit of it. Same with the PSP games. I put more than any time to. I liked them, but I was
there was no real story. Kratos is angry. I need to kill everything.
I played all of them I beat all of them on PS2 back in the day.
And now you can get the collection pretty reasonably cheap on I don't know if it's coming to PS4, but I know on PS3 you can still get that compilation.
I think
it's like $10.
I think I've still got it. I know I have them all on PS2, and I think I've got them all on PS3 too. So, it's one of those things.
Kratos is angry again.
Yeah, it's like, but then those games were what kind of big monster am I fighting next? It wasn't so much that I was playing it to get to the to delve deeper into this story. I wanted to see, okay, well, I fought this fantastical monster, climbed clear up to the top of his head and, ripped his face off. I want to see, how do you
top... all about scale.
Yeah, how do you top this one? It's like, what am I doing next?
This
was a summer action movie.
Of that too, so you still have some of that. You still have some of that in this game of like, oh, here's this fantastical thing that I'm fighting, but it's part of a bigger whole.
Right.
It's not the only thing that you have in there. So
Yeah.
it just makes it that much better.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to playing because it's what, like probably 20 hours, maybe less than that.
It was
God of War?
At least
decently
probably more.
long.
It was probably
It
20
depends
to
on how much
30.
of the side stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
want
you can
to
do. There's a lot of side stuff. Most of it's optional.
The side stuff is so good though that you
It's
want
not
to do it.
optional except for a couple of them, I would say. Like, I mean, it is, but you want
Like
to
the
do it. It's
Valkyrie.
not like something that's tacked on. Everything in that game is there for a reason, and it's fun to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's not just
feels like
oh,
part
I'm
of the
collecting
story.
3
Yeah.
wolf pelts. There's none of that stuff.
Yeah, there's no, fetch me
Not
20,
really.
20 wolf
25.
pelts and bring them back to the.
Yeah, it's like they don't have the MMO quest like that you have.
Right, yeah.
like, to pad content. There's nothing in here that feels like padding. It all feels like, okay, this was well thought out. Somebody, put a lot of thought into making this and designing it, and it's fun to play. I'm enjoying doing it. There was
Yeah.
nothing in there that was like, oh, I don't feel sad that I did that. No, it's all just really good.
That's cool. Like I say, I bought it. I bought it on Black Friday for like $17. It's on my list to play. It's downloaded, updated, and ready to go. It's just clear out some time to play it. So, yeah, I mean, I had a lot of those that you had on your list. The only ones that I had that were not on your list were Owlboy. I played on Switch. It was a very cool Metrovania type game where you fly. And you have a
Yeah, I
dude you
wanna
carry
play
you
that
around.
one.
It would so be up your alley, especially the art
Yeah.
style is up your alley. I mean,
It's one of tons on my wish list that I'll maybe get to eventually.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
'Cause there's
picked
so
it
many
up.
more.
Yeah, when they said it was going to be a physical version on the Switch, I picked it up just to get it to have the physical version. It's like the Katamari Damacy game. I wished I'd have picked it up physically. You cannot find it anywhere now. It was only available at GameStop, and it is gone.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna. Another printing's coming. If not, I'm gonna have to pony up some bucks. One of my friends is an extra copy.
I won't pony up. I won't pony up money for it. I'll pony
No,
up.
by pony up, I mean give him like an extra $5.
I was going to say I'll pony up $30 because that's what it costs.
I'm not paying 60 or more. I looked on eBay like the other day. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
was like,
not
"Holy
paying.
cow."
I'm not paying eBay prices for it.
You know what? If it's gonna be that much, instead of that much, I'm just gonna buy a digital.
Well,
download.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one that I had on my list was Octopath Traveler for the Switch.
I also had that on mine.
I haven't played it clear through. I've played
Same.
it a lot, but it is very old school Japanese RPG that I really like.
Yeah, it's been a long time since that style of JRPG has come through and really grabbed my attention. But the care they put into the art style and the way they present each character's story and then tie it all together in a meaningful way, it's really impressive.
The blurry thing gets on my nerves, but other
Yeah,
than
definitely.
that, it's I can't argue with the art style in it at all, other than the blurriness. The Messenger is on my list. I don't know if anybody else has played that game. That game
I have.
is hotness. I can't hear
Been
you.
told I
don't
need to
think you're-
play it.
I think
Yeah, I forgot because
I was gonna say I think you
typing
muted yourself when you got.
it. I did on purpose and forgot I had. No, that's another one on my wish list. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it if you had your Twitch and your Amazon Prime account come together over Christmas, though, you could have got that one for free on PC.
Yep.
It was part of the Devolver bundle that they did at Christmas.
Probably have it.
In
then,
Hotline
'cause I just
Miami
go and,
again,
like,
too,
accept
check it
all
out on,
that
like,
stuff,
4
so
other
I probably do.
It's that one. Yeah, it's in that. So check it out. It's Metroid meets Ninja
good.
Gaiden, but it goes. What I like about it is you get to a certain point in the game where you're going back and forth between 8-bit and 16-bit and popping back. Yeah, man, is fantastic. I love that game. Still haven't beat it either because it gets tough. Some of them
Yeah.
boss battles are really, 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 really tough, but it's worth it. Horizon Chase Turbo, believe it or not, is one of my favorite games that I played this year, and I
I
got it.
just started playing that.
I got
let
it
me tell
for
you.
review. If you are a fan of old school arcade racers like Outrun or something like that, it is the perfect game like that. It's cell shaded. It's not like the deepest racing game, but oh my gosh, there must be over 100 tracks in the game.
Yeah, and before I know it, I played like an hour today. I was like, oh, just easy to pick up and play.
And
I'm thinking Outrun meets like Rush, kind of. I was trying to think of another racer.
Top Gear is another one that I thought of.
Yeah,
Top Gear on Super NES is what it also reminds me of. What I like about it is it's looks nice in handheld mode, runs 50 frames or 60 frames a second in handheld mode or in dock mode on the Switch, which is buttery smooth. I've never seen it slow down at all, and it's perfect to take and go, on the go and play or play it on the TV. It looks fantastic on there. Let's see. Yakuza 6 is on my list. I always got to have when there's a new Yakuza game. It's always on my list.
I bought the collector's edition and still haven't played the game.
Oh, dude, the game is awesome. I haven't beat it yet.
I'm playing through 0, and I want to finish that before I jump into 6.
Well, you got 0, and then you got 2 or 1, and then 2,
2, 3,
and then
4.
3 and 4 is coming out this year on PlayStation 4.
I'm not going to go through all of them, I don't think.
Oh, come on.
I can't, man. That's a lot. I've already beat 1 and 2 back in the day.
Okay, well,
as long as you've done honeymoon, stack up your vacation time, just burn it and finish the game.
Yeah.
Is 3 being re-released yet? Has that been announced?
No, yeah. I think 3, 4, and 5 are all being re-released.
Okay, well, maybe we'll
PS4.
see.
But they're not going to be done in the style that 1 and 2 was done. They're just straight.
Oh, just a port.
Just a port. Yeah, so people can play it on PS4. I mean, as far as I know, there's not much upgrade other than...
3 looked really good anyway. 3, 4, and 5 all
they all look good. I don't see what more they could do to them other than, buff up the resolution on it. And that's probably all they're going to do, because I think it was only in 720 on PS3, probably. So it'll be in 1080. Probably load times will be a little better. I think they're digital only, too. I don't think they're doing physical releases of them. If they are, I haven't heard. But I know they're coming out soon. I want to say February or March is when they're going to start rolling those out. I don't know.
Oh boy,
I'll buy them just to support them. I've already beat all.
Wonder if they'll send out any review copies for those.
Probably. They usually do. Let's see, Red Dead, and the one that I put as number, if I had to, it's either Red Dead or Monster Boy that came out right before Christmas.
They're so similar.
Well, I know they are so yin and yang. I tell you what, though, I love the Wonder Boy series that was on the Master System and the Genesis. And this one is such, in the Wonder Boy game that came out on the Switch, well, in the PS4, and, at the first of the year, was so good. This one, though, is just like a love letter to all those games. If you love old school platforming games and adventure games, this game you got to play. I mean, the art style is fantastic. You could switch. You got to switch between different forms of characters. I mean, like right now, I'm stuck as a pig, and there's places I can't get where I'm a pig, so I'll have to come back when I get another thing. I mean, it's great. The music is awesome on it. All these old school composers that did like Streets of Rage and the original Wonder Boy and and stuff like that came back and rewrote music for this game. I mean, it took them 5 years to do it because they totally did it one way and then scrapped it and said, nope, we're going to do it this way now, and did a completely overhaul of the game and the graphics and everything. And it's fantastic. I mean, it is a game that I keep playing when I should be playing other things, but it's not. I'm not going to say it's for everybody. It's not like everybody needs to run out and play this game immediately. But if you like old school platforming games, don't pass up on this one. Don't overlook at it as just a colorful, cel shaded, cartoony hack and slash game, because it is not. The puzzles in it are difficult, but so rewarding. The gameplay is simple but hard to master. But yeah, it's totally worth it to pick it up on, whether you pick it up on Switch or PS4 or whatever. Pick it up on something anyway and play it. I don't know if it's on PC or not, but they
sounds like what I'm going to have to look into.
That's a selling argument.
Well, and this is the same guys that are going to do the Streets of Rage 4 game. These are the same guys that are doing that this year, so I totally expect that game to be on my top 2 or 3 come 2019 if it comes out this year. I mean, yeah, it's totally worth it if you can find it. If you can find it physical and you're going to get it on Switch, I say buy it physical on Switch. It comes with a freaking instruction manual and stickers.
Comes with an instruction manual.
Yeah,
What's
no,
that?
full color instruction manual on top of it. It's
Man, big money.
Yeah, really. I mean, I don't remember how much it was. I think it was $40, but I think I got it on Amazon and only paid like $37 for it. Caught it when it was on special or something. But yeah, if you like old school games, it's definitely worth picking up. Robert, what was not already spoken for on this list?
Yeah, so we kind of covered about half of my list.
All
so
right.
we'll start with my honorable mention, which is none other than Amplitude for PS4.
Yeah.
This is kind of my honorable mention forever. If you are a fan of rhythm or music games at all, or a fan of harmonics at all, go buy this game. Please support them. They kind of released and no one got it.
Yeah.
It was originally it came out. There was a frequency and amplitude on the PS2, and this was kind of their love letter to fans. It was a Kickstarter. I believe it came out in 2015, 16-ish time frame, and it's so good. It's really, really good. And the gameplay loop on it is addictive. They have really great built-in leaderboard, and it's all about chasing the score. It's not, you could beat the game in one sitting if you're, relatively good at rhythm games.
Right.
But man, being able to chase the score of somebody who surpassed me has been, ongoing the most fun thing for me to do. It's always on my home screen of my PlayStation 4. It will never leave it, and it's something I can continue to go back to. If I have 10 minutes, I can jump in there and play a couple games, and I'm good to go. And I challenge all the listeners to go out, buy it, play it, beat my scores, so I have a reason to jump back in and take you all down.
There we go.
With that being said, my number 10 was Octopath Traveler, we talked about. My number 9 was Shadow of the Colossus, we talked about. My 8 was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which we talked about. And then my number 7, finally one we haven't, is Overcooked. I came in a little bit late on this one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hype about it, and they had already announced the second one.
Multiplayer co-op.
Say that again?
Heard good things about it for multiplayer co-op.
Yeah, and that's the only way I've played it, and I highly recommend it for a co-op game. You will leave hating your friends if they're not up to snuff.
Or your significant other.
I don't recommend playing it with your significant other for that reason alone. This has been a game that I seem to only play when having a few drinks for whatever reason. So it just is even more frustrating. But it's so much fun. Haven't even come close to beating it, but I look forward to playing with it. What's that?
It's a game that gets hectic fast.
Yeah.
Very fast, yeah. But
I thought about picking it up on Switch.
You should. You definitely should. I think that if I remember correctly, there was something that didn't translate over to the Switch version, but it has the local co-op.
Well,
I
the
think.
Second one's already out on Switch, I think, too.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the one that I'd recommend doing. They're very, very similar. It's just more polished and some newer command. You can throw things in the second one, which you couldn't in the first one, which is a really cool new feature.
Look, I've got 50 some games over there for the Switch, and I think I've only played about half of them. So
50
really
physical?
Oh, yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
impressed.
50,
I like
actually like
Obviously.
50, 30.
Not only
I
buys
think.
physical.
Yeah.
I have digital, too. I've got about that many digital.
I don't know. My stance on digital has got to be a pretty good deal. We're talking 40, 50% off.
I prefer
price.
digital for Switch, but everything else I like.
I
like it.
like digital for Switch, but Nintendo has a bad habit of closing eShops down.
This is true.
And it
Yeah.
makes me nervous if I can get it physical, I want to get it physical because someday down the road, I know it's probably going to disappear.
I don't have time to play old games anymore, John. It's fine.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know where I am, number 6, it looks like, is a remake. This has been the year of the remake for me. Pokemon Let's Go. I played the Pikachu edition, and, everybody kind of was harsh on this game before it came out for the Pokemon Go mechanics of catching Pokemon and not battling
Until you played it.
until you played it. And holy crap, is it good?
Yeah.
It's super addictive. I'm not going to say it's my favorite Pokemon game. I probably still preferred the original, full-fledged RPG versions of the GBA games and whatnot. But I would be okay if they included this in all the future Switch versions coming out.
That would be this one would be my honorable mention, just because I had so many other good games that I'd played. The thing I liked about this one was what they took away from the original Game Boy and Game Boy Advance version, which was the grinding of catching Pokemon.
Yeah,
and the random battles
it completely got rid of that.
Yeah, I'm fine with the Pokemon. At first, when they first introduced it, and I think they just did a poor job of introducing it, because they never really talked about that. It was going to be a full-fledged Pokemon game with gym battles and this, that, and that. Well, Nintendo didn't say. Nintendo didn't come out and say that. They just said it's going to be a Let's Go game with the Pokemon Go, mechanics to it. And I'm like, well, how are you going to battle? How's there going to be a story? How's there going to da-da-da-da-da? Well, you still have all that. You're just not going out and battling Pokemon for hours. You're just going out and throwing a ball and catching them, throwing a ball and catching them, throwing a ball and catching them. And I'm fine with that. I am. Yeah,
you have all that, and it's been updated. So now it's got all the current, Pokemon types in there. Ice is in there, and all Dark is in there. Those weren't there when that gen came out.
Yeah,
it's super cool. I really wish they would combine the two even further. They're as nice as it has to skip some of that grind. I would like the option of maybe battling the Pokemon, and then when I go to catch them, throw the Pokeball. Kind of similar how they did with the way you catch the legendary Pokemon in the game, John. I don't know if you got there, but say you're catching a legendary bird, or I haven't gotten to it yet, but Mewtwo, you battle it first for the opportunity to then catch it with the go mechanic,
right?
Which is fine, as long as there's enough trainer battles in there to offset it and keep it fresh. Let's do it. That's great.
Well, and that's like I finally got to the town where I could bring in some of my Pokemon from Pokemon Go, and I brought them in, and man, I'm like, man, they're like level 2. It's like, now I got to go out in the forest and just catch Pokemon. Just keep catching them. Let me just catch them.
You get that multiplier, and then they just
I'm like, this is so much better than the old way.
I have the Pokeball Plus, and I have my Mew in it so that I can just walk around and give it experience, level it up. It's quicker for me to just catch Pokemon in the game than it is for me to get experience by walking this thing.
Right. Well, what's funny is I might get one of those this week, because Target has clearance down the bundles to $50.
Get it.
So unless Eric can find me a ball. Balls are $20 to $35 now.
I need to go. Yeah, I need to go to one more Target and check for you.
Well, let me know, because then I've got. Go
tomorrow night.
Let's see.
Got to make a return anyway.
I got to go to Target. I can go to Target Wednesday. So the Target that's in the town I'm working in Wednesday says, as of now, they still have them. So
it's once that deal gets on a certain website known as Slick Deals.
Well, yeah, I know. Tough. So, but we'll see. I mean, if not,
I'll let you know tomorrow.
No big deal. Yeah. So then but that's my only gripe with Let's Go Pokemon or Pokemon Let's Go is when I'm playing in docked mode, I can't just play with a normal controller.
Yeah,
I have to do the mode. I don't like that. And I mean,
I play mostly handheld because I don't want to deal with it. Now I know that if I was going to play hardcore and it can get bonuses for catching it with 2 Joy-Cons at the same time, and whatever. I'm not playing that way.
I have a feeling that they'll probably eventually patch that so where you can use a Pro Controller. Probably right now they're just wanting everybody to play it that way. I don't know. Maybe not. They may not. I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, that's my only gripe. Is like, man, I've been playing this for like 30 hours. I'd love to stream some of it, but I'm not going to sit there and go.
And let me tell you, man, like growing up, Pokemon was so huge when I was, that age, 11, 12, and seeing that, the Kanto region in full 3D graphics, it's just like a nostalgia trip that I never thought I'd see, and it's super cool. It's the closest I'm going to get to like an adult gritty Pokemon, game, and it's cool.
What year did the first Pokemon come out? What year was that?
Red and Blue?
It was 98.
98. I was 4 years out of college at that time. So while everybody else was little kids playing that game, I'm over in the corner with the Game Boy going. I guess I was 18, 19, 20, 21. I guess I was
John, what are you doing over there? I'm playing Mario.
I'm playing Mario. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm really over there playing. I'm working playing the Pokemon game. So yeah, it's like, oh, it's legitimate. Adults are playing it now. All right.
Yeah, it's cool again. It's fine.
It's fine. I don't have to hide it like this. I can hold it out here for everybody to see.
Talk to me.
But yeah, it's definitely it's on my honorable mention list for sure.
It's good. Yeah, it deserves to be played for sure. Coming up to number 5, I kind of grouped these all under one, but I went through and I replayed all the Devil May Cry games. Well, all the real Devil May Cry games. We don't talk about that Ninja Theory reboot crap, but
That's not that bad.
it's a really good game. It's just not a good Devil May Cry game. Anyway,
Sure.
when they announced Devil May Cry 5, I was ecstatic. I was elated, and I haven't thought about anything since. I just want Devil May Cry 5. Let's get this out here. So I went through and I replayed them all and just had a blast. I was super thrilled to see that my skills hadn't really gone away, and the muscle memory kicked right in, and I was kicking some demon butt. It was great.
Yeah.
They're not the best ports, but they're great.
Yeah.
Great games. All around. Well, not all around. 2's not great, but I did replay it. I had to. Yeah.
Better than me.
I say I did it.
I wouldn't have replayed it, but that's just me.
It's fair, I wouldn't tell anybody to replay it unless you just need to be a completionist.
Yeah.
My number 4 was Spider-Man. We talked, at length about it. Spider-Man is great. Best Spider-Man game to date. The graphics, gameplay, everything. It's the complete package. My number 3, Monster Hunter World. I've been a huge Monster Hunter fan since the Wii version, I guess, and man, they really modernized this game. They brought it to the West, and they knocked it out of the park with it. I wish I would have been able to play it more, but the grind got too long for me, and I couldn't stick to a good schedule to meet up with friends or anything, and kind of went to the wayside. But they're still updating it, and it still has a huge fan base.
Yeah, you know what? I got that game for free. Played the first, got to the opening hub of it, and I don't remember what else came out, but something came out, and I never went back and played it again. And I have loved Monster Hunter since it was on the PS2. I did the beta for Monster Hunter when PlayStation 2 Online was just a new thing that nobody knew about. And I remember playing that game just thinking it was great and it was fun, and I've played it on every system since then, but I have not sat down and played World.
Well, if you ever decide to go back to it, I would be more than happy to take my higher level character and help you out and play again.
Yeah, I need to, because
We're friends for.
Right?
I even think I got that game free on a glitch. I think
it was like a
too,
Best Buy glitch or something.
Yeah, it was a weird code that
was...
somebody put up, and it worked like 27 times, and then stopped.
They caught it.
John let me know that it was working, so I got it, and I played maybe a couple hours, and I was intrigued because I never played any of the games before, and a couple of my buddies are really big into it. But like John, something came out, and I was like, "Well, I'll go play this other game and get back to this."
Well, and what's bad with me is if work takes me out of town and takes me away from PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, it falls back to Switch is what it falls back to, that I end up playing a lot of, just because it's with me.
I've been playing most of.
Yeah, and it's easier for me to carry around with me when I'm on the road, if I'm gone for a week at a time, where PlayStation 4 and stuff. And then when I come home, it's kind of hard to get back into the swing of, I need to go back and do this. Well, I haven't played it in 2 weeks. Let me try to remember the controllers.
Played much of my PS4.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't remember where I was. I don't want to take the time to get back into it. And it's surprising that 4 out of my 10 overall games here are Switch games.
Well, I didn't even look and see how many mine were. I know a lot of mine was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. 6 of the 10.
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a great year.
Yeah, and I haven't played anything on Xbox. Again, 2 years in a row, I haven't played anything on Xbox.
And they're giving you all those free games.
And I get free games from Gold every time, and I've got a freaking subscription to Game Pass, and I still haven't played anything on it. Yeah, what can I say? I've paid now for my Xbox Gold for 17 years, and for the past 2 years, I have played zip on the Xbox.
Maybe this will be the year.
Well, it is what it is.
It's come to the point now where I just buy it out of pure. I mean, I did the beta for it.
Are you going to get Division on Xbox?
Well, it depends. If people or if my friends are playing it on PlayStation, then I'll get it on PlayStation. It just depends, because I enjoyed the first division, and I want to play the second one. I don't care about the online or the PvP, but I do want to play the story of it, because I did enjoy the story of Division 2. So
Yeah.
if my buddies get it, which I don't know if they are or not, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't play
if
the
there's a
first
group
one.
of us to play with, I'd definitely be interested. I did like the first one. I did some of the PvP and the group stuff, but then people, again, something else came up, and I couldn't stay with it, stay at the same level, and then I got distracted.
Me and my one friend, we played through the entire whole campaign together. And then it was like when the story was over, it was like, well, now we got to go do PvP. And we tried to do the PvP and the Dark Zone stuff and just went, nah, it's not,
that stuff. I got
for
screwed so
us.
many times.
Yeah, I was like, it's not for us. So let's go play something else.
Mhm.
But I would pay $60 to play the story of the new one again and play it co-op. I like co-op games. So
Me too.
if you get it, I'll buy it. How's that?
Okay, I'll be. Would there be? Is it
How
more,
about
is it
if
four-man co-op?
somebody buys it for me? I'll play
here
with
we
you.
go.
I mean, if we get on PS4, like I definitely would be interested. I still have Gamers Club unlocked until middle of February, so
Yeah. So there you
get your
go.
discount.
Roll my eyes. Mr. Apple money over here if you buy.
Okay. Yeah, making that
Money.
big retail bucks. So my number 2, it will probably be pretty divisive to the community, I would imagine, but it is Final Fantasy 15.
It's not as divisive as you think. I've watched 3 different YouTube channels with their games of the year, and this one has always been on.
Really, that makes me really happy to
Yeah.
hear. This is a game that many of us waited. What was it? 15 years for, 10 years for, and it came out and it wasn't trash.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it was really good. And
Yeah, it was.
And I feel like a lot of the talk at the time just kind of went around. Oh, you can beat the game really quickly, but I didn't. I did every single side quest as it appeared, and I spent countless hours in that game, probably 100 or so. I don't know for sure, but they've added and added and added to it. There's a ton of post-game stuff. There's a lot of really cool Easter eggs in there. You know, when you complete it, you get the flying airship, and it's a great game. And what they went out to do with the story, it pulled on my heartstrings at the end, and it really was a tale of friends. And I don't know if people would be worried about spoilers at this point, but the emotions that those characters are feeling with each other are emotions that you have with your friends now.
Yeah.
People get really close, they grow apart, they meet back up again, and it's just it was really it really got to me, and I loved the gameplay of it, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was not without its faults. I got really tired of driving in that darn car, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to get the 2 experience for letting it drive for 10 minutes.
I liked it, what I played of it. I ended up trading it in for something. I don't remember what it was. I think it was when it first came out, and there was a lot of there was a lot of bugs. There was something when it first came out that everybody pitched a fit about. Something about maybe more of the story needed to be downloaded or wasn't. I don't remember.
Yeah, there was an added little bit of cutscene in one of the chapters to be a little bit of a clarification, but it didn't really add a whole lot. So there was something that seemed a little like it just wasn't explained well, and people got all up in a tizzy. There was a chapter where the gameplay changed and you were in a linear hallway for a lot of it, but you don't want to do the same thing the whole time. It's fine.
It's fine.
It was one chapter. Calm down.
Yeah.
So that was my number 2. My number 1 was God of War, which was the best game this year, and in all fronts.
All right, Eric. So what's not been on these past other 3 lists?
Actually, you guys mostly got me covered. I mean, we'll make it simple. Number 1 is God of War. I haven't been stuck into a game that long, and that was a game where I was thinking about it when I wasn't playing it. When I was playing it, just being like, wow, I only played for like an hour, but I feel like I accomplished something. And I walk over and play Red Dead later this year, and I'm like, yeah, played an hour. I hunted some legendary animals. Now I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Red Dead did make my top 5 simply because I thought the narrative was really good. Like, I really liked the character, and I liked some of the story. I didn't like. I know I complain about the horse mechanics. I'll complain about that forever. The online play definitely leaves something to be desired. I know you guys really haven't hopped in on that, but I've been on a 2-man and a 3-man posse, and it is just like GTA 5. So get on and get ready to get owned by other players a lot. Because they're just like, you riding around, you're like riding with your buddies, like, yeah, let's go get this bandit. Let's go chase these outlaws. It sounds like fun. And then here comes guys on horses, and they're just going to grief you.
My favorite thing about Red Dead is the setting. You know, I grew up watching those old Western movies and stuff, and you know, that's what pulls me into that game.
And there's so much. You get your money's worth out of it. There's so much to do.
You know, and then you know, it's just the little things in that game, like when you're just riding from point A to point B at night, and you hear something over in the woods, you go over and see what it is, and it's the clan having a clan meeting in the middle of the woods.
And then you shoot them all, or you throw dynamite.
No, I didn't do anything like that. I just watched them. I let them play out, and what happened was when they set the cross on fire.
Oh yeah, they
set themselves on fire, and they burned half themselves up by doing it. Then I just stood there and watched the whole thing. And
yeah, you're right. There's those little things.
Yeah,
it's just somebody needs help.
Yeah,
run.
Yeah, so, I love it. I love that game.
Some of the other games that didn't make your guys' list. Axiom Verge, I didn't play that till this year, and I played it on the Switch. Surprisingly,
yeah, I did too. It's really good.
I picked up. Really like it. I'm not a big. I struggle with like Metroidvania games sometimes because of, you know, it depends, you know, what's going on. Like, you know, like Dead Cells. I really like Dead Cells, but I can't sneak it past a certain point because there's not enough. It's not like, you know, Axiom Verge, where I'm like, oh, you know, because, you know, there's a little bit of a hand holding. It's a little bit easier, and that's what I need is. Or I just suck.
Yeah.
Oh, you agree? Well, that's
yeah.
Good.
No, I mean, I agree with what you're saying about the Axiom Verge. Is what I mean.
Yeah,
you're right.
It is fun. It's very, very interesting, and I'm always like, what's going on in this next room? Or I can't do this now. But what if I come back later with this item? Can I get past the stage?
Yeah.
It gets, I played
Axiom gets a little challenging near the end too.
Yeah. I got to get back into it. I did definitely enjoy it, and you know, it's only a one-man team that made the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about that game.
I mean, I hardly ever double dip, but I've got that game on Switch. You know, the multiverse edition, whatever it is.
The Blu-ray and all that other stuff.
And then for PC, I bought the Steelbook edition from Game Trust, which is they clearance a lot of GameStop, and that came with a soundtrack, DRM free copy, and a couple other things. That was pretty cool too. And I was like, that's neat. I might as well support them. I played a lot of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I put this one at number 6. Played a lot with my friends this year. There's all this content that's been pushed in the game for free.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, we were fighting the Predator. That's always fun.
That was kind of cool.
Pain to kill. We never got it, but you know, I was like, wow, it's really cool to see Ubi really support that game. And I was a little bit down on it, like in the beginning when it came out, but the price dropped so fast that I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I bought it, and then my buddies bought it, and then they weren't playing it, so I got rid of it. And then all of a sudden they started playing it again, and I'm like, dude, you're killing me. And I never went back and picked it back up.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I really kind of wish I'd played the new Rainbow Six game too this year, but
I haven't. I played a little bit of it with friends, but they quit playing it. But I didn't do what I did with Wildlands and got rid of it. I was like, no, I'll hang on to it because sure enough, they'll probably come back to it sometime. And
yeah, it's like with Wildlands, we hadn't played in a couple months. My buddy popped in on a Thursday. He's like, let's play. You know, I'm here. You can help me. I'm like, I haven't played in like a month, so give me a little bit to reorient myself. But
yeah.
I put Horizon Chase Turbo at number 4. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
But Arcade Racer, I was playing it this afternoon. And my mind is just digging the soundtrack, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. This is definitely going to be the game I go to when I want to play something for half an hour.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh boy, I put Pokemon Let's Go at the bottom. I've only played a little bit of it at my buddy's house, but I was pretty impressed the way it transitioned to the Switch. The appeal for any sort of generation to pick it up. Us little kids, my buddy's little kid is like 7, and he's hooked on it, and it's cool to see him play that for the first time, and he's doing well, and he's good at the controls. I'm like, where's my Pro controller? Come on, please.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's really all it's missing. Just need to have that Pro controller.
And Smash Bros. I put on number 9. I have a copy. I have not opened it yet, but I've been playing a lot at my friend's house, and I'm not a great Smash Bros. Guy. I'm not very good. I have played a lot of the 64, GameCube, and some of the Wii version, but I get crushed all the time. But I'm enjoying playing it, unlocking, and seeing all the CPU stuff and all the fun items. My buddy's like, "Oh, throw that item. It does this." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's kind of a new mechanic." And so I'm finding my rhythm. I'm kind of a Link Samus guy.
It's tough when everyone's been like a pro player for the last 20 years.
They're like, I'm ready to jump in, and I'm worried if I open mine and get online, I'll probably be crushed.
Yeah, you'll
blown away. But you know, I hear the single player is decent too, so it'll be interesting to check that out.
Yeah,
I'm not great, so if you ever play, let me know. We can meet up.
I'm not either, so we could all just.
Hey, there we go, community night.
Have a community stalemate of one match of Smash Brothers that goes on for like 4 hours, and
four players sudden death.
Yeah, everybody's like, how many matches did you win? I won one. How many did you play? One.
I do like with Smash Brothers, you can make your sets. So I made a Pokemania rule set where it's only Pokeballs and it's on like dropping them all the time.
It's frustrating.
That could be kind of crazy. Oh no! It's
there's Pokemon everywhere. You
can't even attack. You're just being bombarded with NPCs.
I've also played honorable mention though. I gotta say goes to probably Kirby Star Allies on the Switch because when that came out, I played a ton of it, and not because it's a hard game, but it's very easy to pick up and play. You're the giant pink puffball. Oh, look, he's eating stuff again.
Yeah.
And, I like Kirby games. I find them very like relaxing. And
I do too.
Pick up and play.
And I love the art style of that one. I like the 2D Kirby's. You know,
me too.
I love those games. I need to get back into that game actually.
No more Crystal Shards ever.
No.
Okay, here we go. Controversial. Number 8. I know you guys are gonna hate me. Fallout 76.
I'm not going to
get out of here.
I know it's not a great game, but I played the heck out of that with a couple buddies for the last week. Like I'm hooked. Yeah, it's a host of problems.
The magic, man.
I could not. The other day I couldn't get it to run. I was like, "What the heck, Bethesda?" And looked on the forums, all sorts of problems. Here's the solution. Try this and fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a perfect game, and the only reason I didn't put it on my list is because I literally played it, the beta, and I've played it maybe an hour since the game came out. That's all. That's all I've played of it. I haven't had time to play any of it.
I'd give it another go if they patch it and the price stays low.
Yeah, and they got to figure out like the market like in it with all the caps and buying and stuff is all
it's a little screwed up. Now my buddy,
but it is fun to hop in an area and a couple big level guys are like, "Hey man, need help? You want to help us kill monsters and we'll get you XP?" And I'm like, "Sure, dudes."
What's hilarious is a buddy of mine who hasn't played video games since, well, he hadn't owned a video game console since I want to say maybe PlayStation 2. He bought a PlayStation 4, and you know his and this guy's been my friend since I was born in February. He was born in March, so we grew up on the same street. We've known each other all our lives. And so his wife, you know, said, "What games are cool?" He's a big Star Wars fan. I said, "Get him Battlefront 2." I said, "Fallout looks pretty cool because it's co-op online." And I said, "It takes place in West Virginia." She's like, "Oh, okay." So, you know, I keep going, "Hey, we could play together." He's like, "Well, I want to get a feel for it before me and you start playing together." Okay. So he actually said he played it the other night, and he had his headset on, and he didn't realize that it's... it's regional chat. So he saw proximity based. That's the word I was trying to think of. And he was watching a guy shooting robots, and he was like, where the heck did he get a gun at? And he said he said it out loud, and the guy went, "Oh, you need a gun? Here you go."
Yeah. And I can vouch for that too, because right when I stepped outside the vault, someone had dumped a bunch of stuff, and like just sitting out there right outside the first vault. I'm like, all right. And then I read online that's what a lot of older experienced players are doing. They're just dumping armor, dumping weapons.
I think
low level stuff.
I think social media and press gave Fallout a real bad rap because it's kind of buggy, and it's an quote unquote MMO style game. But I've never played a Fallout game that's not buggy. Ever.
Yeah. Look, I'm stuck in a door.
I mean, there's still things, if you play Fallout 3 on PlayStation 3, that are broken, that have been broken since that game came out on PlayStation 3. So, I don't know. I think it just got a bad rap. It's a lot better than what people give it credit for, but it's like Robert said, it's definitely a lot better with friends. You know?
In a 4-man squad is best, but a 2 or a 3-man is just as much fun. It's 2 camps, 2 cool things to tinker with.
Yeah.
2 guys, 2, 3 people to help you out with some of the quests. And it's coming handy. There's been a couple times that I always think it's interesting too, where if I'm playing by myself, the monsters are scaling to my level.
Right.
There's a couple areas like Winter Springs or White Springs Golf Course. A lot of people farm over there, and if I'm there by myself, monsters my level, no problem. Oftentimes I play with my brother, we're about the same level. We'll get there and the monsters will be like double our level. And he's like, what's going on? It's because some other guy, random guy in power armor level 100's there. And so now the monsters are like level 75 and crazy legendaries. But it's fun. I mean, I think it'll be one of those games that I keep playing, here and there. And plus, I got it for $20. So
well, and Bethesda says they're going to keep updating it. I mean, they're going to fix the problems with it. There's some new, they're working on new patches for some of the in-game stuff right now. They've got the server stability where they want it for now, I think.
It's good enough.
Good enough. Yeah, it's good enough that now that they can focus on some of the game stuff and then come back to the the server stuff later. So, but unfortunately, you didn't buy it on PS4, so I can't play with you. So
I know
that kind of sucks.
It was one of those toss-ups where, but I would have bought it on PS4 too. Now Bethesda, let's put in some cross-platform action so I can transfer my character to PS4 and back.
Oh, they want that.
I don't trust that they can get that working right.
Sony,
where's all my
Sony's
where's all my gear?
No.
I'd be like, level 4. I'm like, where's my stuff?
Yeah. But that's all right, fine. I see how it is. Because you got to go play with your brother. I totally get that. It's okay. It's cool.
But I'm also, I'm also glad that it's one of those things where people have been able to get it at a discounted price. I saw it on Newegg last week for $25.
Yeah.
Any platforms.
Well, it's been $40 since Black Friday. Most places have had it for $40 or less. So.
I feel bad.
Well, and
I wonder what it is used these days.
I don't know. Well, I've got the. I bought I brought the strategy guide just to have it. It was like $20. That thing's 700 pages. It's like that thick. It's like
and the one for Fallout 4 was big too. Remember, it was nice, thick, and like hardcover.
Yeah, but I read one reviewer said that there was nothing to do in that game, and I'm like, look at this book. It's full of nothing but what to do in this game.
Yeah, and that's sometimes there's too much to do. I'll be like, what's over here in this part of the map I haven't looked at? Oh, that's kind of cool. And then, half an hour goes by, 45 minutes. I'm like, I should probably go do what I was going to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, once my buddy's finally comfortable enough, I think me and him will start playing it.
That's good. And it was a great year for games. There was a lot of cool stuff that I wish I would have been able to play. Oh, man, I wish I would have gotten to Resident Evil 7. That thing's still sealed on my shelf.
Yeah. I bought a lot of games this year, and I've played a lot. I haven't finished a lot, but I've played a lot. And I bought a lot of Switch games this year, or last year, I guess, technically. But I don't know. Maybe this year there won't be as many come out as I, usually, as I did last year, and I can catch up on a little bit of it, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I think now, too. It's like, oh, yeah, Dishonored. I can go back and finish that, and Prey, I can finish that. And then, 4 months will go by, and I'll be like, oh. Yeah. Got distracted by new releases.
Yep. But, I think that covers everybody's list. So, anything, we've talked a little bit about what's coming out this year. Is there anything that anybody's really looking forward to that they know of that's coming out this year? I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk, but I don't think that's coming out this year.
That will not be this year.
I'm looking forward to Metro, the new Metro game that's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to the No More Heroes Travis whatever game, but I don't know. There's not very much about it, and it sounds interesting, but
most of the games I'm really looking forward to are in the don't have a date stage.
Like Bayonetta 3, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's coming out this year or not. For
Metroid
sure.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, Metroid, of course, Devil May Cry 5, Animal Crossing, Switch.
Animal Crossing, that's one I'm looking forward to.
Most of the stuff that I know about is probably not this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm just looking here to see.
There's a few that are this year that I'm like a little bit interested in, but nothing that I'm just like, wow, I really need that yet. I'm sure there'll be something come up and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What is that? The Ghosts of
Tsushima?
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
Tsushima or Toshima or however you
Is
say
that this year?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Oh, then I'm totally looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that one. I'm just looking.
Oh,
through
the new From Software game, that the Sekiro.
Yeah.
I forget the name off the top of my head now. I'm gonna punch myself later. It was like, you should have said it was this. But yeah, that game I'm really looking forward to.
The new Ori game looks cool. Crackdown 3 looks cool. I mean, I've got Game Pass.
I'll hold off.
Well, I've got Game Pass.
It's Crackdown again.
And you won't. You don't have an Xbox anyway, so how are you going to play
Listen, they got that whole discless thing coming out, maybe? We'll see. See what the price point is.
We'll see. But then you get Game Pass with it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Let's see. I'm just going through this random websites, top 25 games. I don't even know if these are legit or not. Shenmue 3 will be out in August, which I've had that ordered for 100 years. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out this year on Switch.
Is that actually supposed to be this year?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this year.
The trailer was cool enough, I guess, but we still don't know much about the game.
Rage 2, if you like. I liked Rage. I don't know if I liked it enough that I would, I'd buy the new one, but I liked it.
Rage 2 might as well just be something different. Slap the name on it because they had the name.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything.
Devil May Cry, Days Gone, which I really don't care about Days Gone. We said Metro. Hopefully Luigi's Mansion 3 will come out. That'll be pretty cool. Skull and Bones, I would really hope that would come out this year. I was looking forward to that.
Some of the guys from the Assassin's Creed team.
That's the online pirate ship game.
Yeah,
cool.
Yarg.
Of course, Kingdom Hearts 3 we already said earlier. The Division.
Metro? No one wants Metro Exodus?
Yeah, we said Metro. Shadows Die Twice. That's the Sekiro. That's the From Software game. I don't know how you say the name of it.
Yeah.
I think it's Sekiro.
Sekiro, yeah.
I could be wrong.
There's Resident Evil. So Gears 5 is supposed to come out this year, which could be cool. And Last of Us Part 2, if you like Last of Us.
I think that's going to be a 2020.
I think it is too. I think that'll be a launch game for the PlayStation 5.
It'll be cross-gen for sure.
Yeah,
it will be definitely out on PS4. People will murder them if not. So it's just cross-gen, or they put a remake like they did for Last of Us.
Guess I better start saving my money for the next gen console this year.
Even if they say it's going to be this year, it will.
Oh no! I bet sometime mid 2020 maybe.
I'm hearing 2021.
Well, they've got Days Gone this year, and I don't think that
somebody was telling me like
both of
early
those
2020. I was like, you're crazy.
No, I don't think they're going to come out that quick with it. They might. I don't know. I think Microsoft might come out before Sony, but I don't think PlayStation's going to come out for at least another year.
Yeah.
We may hear rumblings about it at E3, but if we have a full-blown, here is what's coming out this fall, I'll be shocked and surprised.
And no, I waited on the PS4. I waited almost a year before buying mine because there wasn't really anything that I wanted right away.
Yeah. I bought mine at launch. I did not buy Xbox One.
Right before Horizon Zero Dawn came out, like a month or two before.
Yes, Dexter has got a Shin Megami Tensei 5. If that comes out on Switch this year, there will be no other game.
Go. You heard it.
There will be other games. You just won't see them.
Not for me. All right. Well, that's it for the show. We will not. What we are going to start doing the first of the year is we're going to have a show on the 1st and the 3rd of every month, and then on the 4th weekend.
First and third weekend.
Sorry.
Okay.
First and third weekend, and then on the 4th weekend, we're going to have a review show with a bunch of us from the site on here talking about a particular game. This month it's going to be Hive Jump. We've all got it on something. We've either got it on Switch or PC or Xbox or whatever. So we can all try it out and give our thoughts on it. And that'll be the last weekend of the month. Now, if we ever have a weekend that we're all busy and we can't have a show, we just will not be having a show. We won't make it up. And that's going to happen in 2 weeks because somebody is getting married. And I have to go all the way to North Carolina to a wedding because somebody's getting married. So,
hey, there's free food, man. Come on.
Hey, that's the only reason I'm coming. If you'd had an open bar, I'd have been outside waiting for it. But no.
But if you follow us on Twitter, we always post if we are not having a show that week.
Yeah, and we will not be having a show. I know we will not be having a show the third weekend of this month because of your wedding, and I'm going to be there, and Nathaniel's going to be there, and I think since it's over a holiday weekend, the wife's not going to be in school that Monday, so I think we're staying an extra day to go see friends in Greensboro, so I will not be home till probably Monday afternoon, and then you're on a honeymoon, so you won't even be here for the review show that's at the next weekend. So we'll limp through the rest of this
rough month.
Yeah, we'll limp through the rest of this month, but those are the plans. But I think sticking to a schedule is going to work out better, especially with this review show. So we always know the end of the month is a review show. So I'm hoping to you guys. Or us being able to do this and have a new game every month to talk about. So we got real lucky with the Hive Jump guys who were gracious enough to send us a bunch of codes so we could all play it and things like that. And the weeks that we don't have a show, me and Danny are going to sprinkle in our retro shows on Friday. So next Friday we are planning on having a retro show. That's, by gosh, this year we're sticking to the schedule. Hell or high water.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. And unlike my New Year's resolutions for diet, it will not end the second day of the month.
Hey, Eric, we got a request from the chat for you. I don't know if you have it pulled up, but in your low voice, they want you to say, pre-order for private beta access.
My voice?
Yeah.
For private beta access.
No, just use your normal voice.
Pre-order for private beta access.
They were saying you have a Call of Duty voice.
A Call of Duty voice? Great. Sign me up.
Where's that Call of Duty money? That's
right. Come on.
Royalties.
There you go, TFX guy.
Yeah, there you go. You got
nice.
It. Yeah,
I'm glad someone appreciates my voice.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. We had Mixer. We're even on Periscope, so if you're on Twitter, you can see our little video on the top of your Twitter stream going on. I don't know if there's actually a chat on Periscope or not. I haven't. I never tried it. I didn't even know Periscope was still I didn't know Periscope was still a thing till the other day, and I'm like, well, hey, we could just throw that on Twitter while we're at it too. Why not? So, all right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, and like I say, check us out on Twitter, and that'll let you know, or Facebook will let you know when we are going to be recording. But you probably won't catch another show from this group of guys until the end of the month for our review show. But me and Danny will be back Friday for a retro show for the first retro game show of the year. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. See you later. Thanks for hanging out.
See ya. Thank you.